We were on the ropes in the Champions League. We needed a sharp, clinical performance, and we delivered. Muy buenas a todos, gente buena gente, football geeks, frikis del fútbol, football geeks, and welcome to a new episode of Inglés para Vikingos. Partido de Champions y como de costumbre os aporto mi análisis personal y también os traeré algunos de los titulares de medios internacionales sobre este encuentro. A great win, even if it wasn't a great performance. Happy with the 3 points, but being realistic. The gameplay, el juego, the gameplay wasn't too convincing, was it? Because if you check the stats, las estadísticas, the statistics, stats, Atalanta beat us in every aspect of the game. Nos ganó en casi todo. Even in fouls, committing more than us. But with a positive exception, for the first time this season, we ran more kilometers than any of our opponents. 114 over 113 for Atalanta. That's a solid beginning to our final comeback. Esta frase ha quedado muy bien, ¿no? That's a solid beginning for our final comeback. Let's not forget, guys, that Atalanta came into this match absolutely on fire. Venían que se salían. 12 wins in their last 13 games and just 1 goal conceded. Y solo habían encajado un gol in their last Champions League matches. Quite a solid squad. That's some serious stuff. But you know what? Real Madrid doesn't need stats to understand the importance of today's game. This was one of the matches circled on the calendar. Un partido marcado con una cruz en el calendario. A must win, una victoria obligada. If we draw an analogy with the world of boxing, it was a fight where our heavyweights have to step into the ring and take down the opponent, no matter what. Okay, we had to take a few punches, so be it. Que así sea, so be it. But we were going to hit back with devastating right and left hooks to take down one of Europe's most informed teams alongside Liverpool. First, a right hook from Mbappe, then 2 lefts, Jude and Vini delivering the knockout blows, asestando 2 golpes demoledores. Just like that, our opponent was on the canvas, se fue a la lona. 3 points, job done, and back home. You see, with this win, we've moved from the 24th position, which is the cutoff for staying in or out of the Champions League, up to the 18th position. We might even have a chance to reach the round of 16. Quizás pudiéramos alcanzar los octavos, the round of 16, if we win the next 2 games and a few other results go our way, but it's quite difficult. I'm glad we survived this first Champions League match ball, but every time I hear Ancelotti in a press conference just focusing on fielding, poniendo en el campo, on fielding his best starting 11, ignoring the young players at all, and then complaining about the schedule or the unlucky injuries, he really gets on my nerves. Me pone de los nervios. He really gets on my nerves. Come on, he just uses 14 or 15 players, leaving the rest out. On another note, let's be real, there is clearly something personal with Entry. He doesn't even warm up anymore, ni siquiera calienta, while Vini played 90 minutes just coming back from another injury. If this is how it's handled, don't complain then about a tight schedule. No te quejes de un calendario apretado. By the way, against Girona, he said that Asensio wasn't fully fit to justify starting Tchouaméni, which is okay. I mean, it's his favorite one. He subbed in on anyway. I mean, he put Asensio on the pitch at the end anyway. And then against Atalanta, he benched our academy player again. Lo sentó en el banquillo. Just admit it. You prefer Tchouaméni. That's okay, mister. But please, stop treating us like idiots. Okay, one more thing. I felt pretty weird today. Me sentí como muy extraño. Almost numb. Casi anestesiado, entumecido, adormecido, numb. Ojo con la palabra numb, que acaba en B y va precedida de otra consonante que es la M. Ya sabéis que en inglés, the B at the end of words ending in M and B is typically silent. Some common examples that you probably know might be thumb, okay, your thumb, climb, you're probably going to eat some lamb at Christmas Eve, then comb, or even plumber. Yeah, the typical plumber that comes up to your place and fixes the toilet, the pipelines, whatever. So where was I? Oh yes, I was saying that I felt almost numb, adormecido, insensible, numb, watching all the injuries pile up, amontonándose, pile up to pile up. Mbappe went off in the first half with a new injury. And by the way, do you know what number this injury makes for Real Madrid this season? Injury number 27 in 23 games. Can you believe that? Isn't that insane? ¿No es una locura? Anyways, Vini was clearly not at full speed, no estaba a tope, and Rodrigo, he's half the player he used to be. Nowhere near his peak, ni por asomo a su nivel máximo. He's not fully recovered. And to top it all off, y para más Inri, Jude looked like he was walking off with a niggle. Parecía que caminaba con una molestia. Thankfully, it doesn't seem too serious. But honestly, what do you guys feel when you see this over and over again? It's kind of we're becoming desensitized to all this. Que nos estamos desensibilizando a todo esto. It's like I'm used to seeing players drop like flies. Es como que estoy acostumbrado a que caigan como moscas. Even Jude clutching his thigh at the end. Incluso Jude que se llevaba la mano al muslo and asking to come off y pidiendo el cambio. You tell me how are we supposed to make it to spring when all the titles are on the line, cuando se juegan todos los títulos. Do you think we have any real chance if we don't start rotating our squad? I just wanted to share that thought, guys. Okay, now back to the match. Real Madrid came out strong and Kylian scored a beauty to open things up. Shame he had to go off injured in the first half. But Atalanta fought back though, after being under pressure early on. And just before halftime, they scored from a soft penalty. I think it was their forward, the Ket, who put it away. I'm not sure. But in typical Madrid style, we turned the game on its head, dimos la vuelta al partido, we turned the game on its head with 2 goals in 3 minutes. We totally flipped the game. Vini and Jude stepped up with 2 killer finishes that made it look like game over. But credit to Atalanta. Hay que dar mérito al Atalanta. Credit to Atalanta. Because they kept pushing and pushing until their best player by far, por mucho, by far, I think his name was Lockman, got one back and almost set up the Italian striker for a last-minute equalizer. A punto estuvieron de empatarnos en el último suspiro. See, Lockman, as a matter of fact, got the Player of the Match award, despite losing the game, which says a lot. Que ya dice mucho. I must admit that I've never heard of this guy, this 27-year-old guy, and he's got some top skills. Speed, dribbling, passing. He has pure class. Quite impressive stuff. So generally speaking, it was a beautiful Champions League clash where both teams were all about attacking, although some shaky defending, aunque dejaron bastantes dudas en defensa. Okay, now I just want to quickly share my thoughts on some player performances. For instance, Courtois, top performance, crucial saves as always. Rudiger, outstanding. He was phenomenal. Key tackles, great anticipation, and dominant in the air. What else can we expect from him? Tchouaméni. Okay, decent blocks and decent aerial play. But that penalty issue, I think it's time for him to move permanently to the back line. I don't know what you think about it, but I don't want it in the midfield. Fran, I think he was more solid, he defended well, and he had some smart runs up the flank. No major mistakes. I'm glad. And then Ceballos, I think he worked his socks off. Se lo curró de lo lindo. And he was very well positioned. Not very flashy, but reliable and great at winning tackles. Then we go with Valverde. Okay, classic Fede. He worked hard, no super decisive, but impactful for the team. Then Mbappe. He started on fire. He looked unstoppable. Without that injury, I'm pretty sure that he could have had a hat trick. Then Brahim. Brahim had a dynamic and dangerous performance. He worked very hard, he recovered balls, and he created chances. He almost scored as well. And finally Vini. Y para definir a Vini, voy a usar un refrán en inglés que dice Actions speak louder than words, que en español significa hechos son amores y no buenas razones. He's got 39 goals or assists in 37 Champions League matches during his career with Real Madrid. Insane numbers. 39 goals or assists in 37 Champions League matches. But why did he play the whole game today? Wrapping up next time, Carleto, or do not complain then about injuries. And talking about my pick of the match for today, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a leader at Real Madrid looks like. He has pure DNA of our club since day one. Skill, work ethic, hunger to win, and goals. Humble on and off the pitch, and ready to conquer the world for our badge. Por nuestro escudo, for our badge. Welcome to Mr. Jude Victor William Bellingham. I want to touch now on some international headlines about this match real quick. First up, an Italian digital outlet. Football Italia. Italian media react as Bellingham takes center stage in Real Madrid win over Atalanta. To take center stage en este contexto es brillar con luz propia. Now we move on to BBC Sport that says Real Madrid earned much needed win against Atalanta in thriller. Ese earn aquí lo vamos a traducir como conseguir y ese much needed win es una victoria muy necesaria. We travel to L'Equipe now and it says Real Madrid beats Atalanta and gets back on track in the Champions League. To get back on track es encarrilar. And now we have the headline from ESPN on the screen that goes Real Madrid beat Atalanta to jumpstart UCL campaign. To jumpstart aquí significa dar un impulso. Now we fly to the Times and their headline is Real Madrid's big hitters step up but paying for Mbappé. Hitter es una palabra para decir una gran figura, un peso pesado. To step up, ya sabéis que es dar un paso al frente, responder ante una situación. Now moving back to Spain, we have diario as in English. Mbappé scores stunner, then forced off. Clearly, the major black mark on the night for Real Madrid is the injury to Mbappé. So we have several things here. We have a stunner, un golazo. We also have forced off, obligado a abandonar. And we also see the expression the major black mark. Es como nuestra expresión el único lunar negro. También es interesante que conozcáis la palabra mole, que es un lunar, pero un lunar en el cuerpo, en el brazo, en donde sea, ¿no? Si fuera en la cara ya sería a beauty mark o a beauty spot. Y también mole se utiliza para decir un topo, un chivato, alguien que está oculto en una organización. Y en la web del Real Madrid, muy prácticos, Real Madrid clinch huge victory in Bergamo. To clinch ya sabéis que es el verbo para decir amarrar o asegurar. Okay, vikingos. In a nutshell. Although we're on the right track, aunque estamos en el camino adecuado, we're on the right track, there is still a lot of room for improvement. Not just from the team, but also from the decisions coming from the bench. This win keeps our Champions League hopes alive, but the road ahead will be anything but smooth. No será nada fácil. Guys, as always, a la Madrid. Bueno, y como siempre os dejo aquí el vocabulario que hemos visto hoy, sobre todo todas las expresiones y palabras que más se asemejan al mundo del fútbol, al mundo del deporte. Y por supuesto, no abandonéis en estas fiestas el inglés. Ese es el error que muchas personas cometen. Lo dejan durante un tiempo, 2-3 meses, y echan por tierra todo el camino recorrido. No lo abandonéis. Ponéis estos vídeos cuando estéis esperando en una cola o cuando vayáis en el coche, para hacer siempre casi un seguimiento a diario. No hay otra forma, chicos, os lo garantizo. Es esa lluvia fina que va calando. Ah, y por supuesto, este sábado tenemos otro partido muy importante fuera de casa, en la cancha del Rayo, que no se nos da nada bien, por cierto. Así que no os perdáis esa cita en el campo de Vallecas el sábado a las 9 de la noche. Y ya sabéis, 2 días después más o menos, que me dé tiempo un poco a prepararlo, tendréis el vídeo. Y ahora, chicos, para los que veis este vídeo por primera vez, no olvidéis de suscribiros al canal y dad al botón de like si os ha gustado o si creéis que habéis aprendido algo, y así podemos ir creciendo poquito a poco. Muchísimas gracias y hasta el siguiente vídeo.